Let's return now to our top story. US President Donald Trump is to challenge a verdict that found he sexually assaulted a journalist 27 years ago. The jury rejected the rape claim brought by columnist E. Jean Carroll, but awarded her $5 million in defamation damages. Mr. Trump called the decision a disgrace and the biggest witch hunt in history.
What else can you expect from a Trump-hating, Clinton-appointed judge who went out of his way to make sure that the result of this trial was as negative as it could possibly be? We'll be appealing this decision. It's a disgrace. I don't even know who this woman is. I have no idea who she is, where she came from. This is another scam. It's a political witch hunt.
She knows who he is, and the jury believed her. Joining us now to pick through it all is Republican communications strategist and conservative activist Corinne Clark, as well as Nicole Brenner-Schmitz, Democratic strategist who's worked with Kamala Harris. Hello to you both. Thanks for joining us on the program. Where shall we start? Let's start with you, Corinne, if I may. Could this be the end of President Trump's campaign to be president again?
Absolutely not. I think this is the latest in a long line of anti-Trump judges and cases against him. And I think we'll see the usual suspects come out and condemn this verdict. And we'll see Trump do the usual thing, which is continue to fight. I think the most interesting thing about this case is the court did not rule that they found Trump guilty of rape at all. They did not believe that she was raped. They believed that she was entitled to money for the defamation for Donald Trump defending himself against that charge. That is a very curious case, if you ask me. This alleged crime also occurred in 1996, and I think if we're going to go back to talk about the sexual crimes of politicians in 1996, we should actually go back to the very president that appointed the judge that handed out this verdict to Donald Trump, because I think there's a pretty good case against him.
Who are you talking about?
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he's not running to be president, though, is he?
Oh, are we? But if we can condemn everyone for crimes that supposedly happened 25 years ago, I think we've got a lot of politicians to condemn.
Do you concur with that, Nicole?
I mean, look, I concur with the fact that Donald Trump is going to continue to cry that everything's a witch hunt, that he's, being persecuted on a political level. But the reality is that this is a jury of 6 men, 3 women who decided that he, in fact, was guilty of this defamation. And here's the thing. Is it going to affect his ability to run for president within his own party? No. He has a base in that party. He has a firm grasp on a significant base of the Republican Party, and he could very well still become their nominee. But it is just another nail in the coffin for him with independence. It's another reason that the same people who decided that we needed to elect Joe Biden in 2020 are going to continue down that path. This just does not help him in the general election at all.
Corinne, why do you think he didn't turn up in court to defend himself?
He did defend himself in court.
No, he didn't turn up in court. Am I not right in saying that it was a video link?
The statement, he defended himself in court. He also has made it clear that he will appeal this case to another judge, which is his right as an American. So I don't see any lack of defense from Trump in this particular case.
I mean, you don't have to be American to appeal against a decision. And he is perfectly entitled to do that, Nicole, of course, isn't he? And no monies will be handed over until that appeal process has finished.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Mr. Trump will continue with every legal recourse that he has, and that he will try to not pay a single penny of this for as long as possible. This is, again, straight out of his playbook. It's name call, it cry that he's being persecuted, woe is me, the whole world is against me, it's a liberal witch hunt, and that's his legal right to have an appeal. But this is not the end of his legal troubles. This is just the continuing of a lot of different legal woes that we're going to watch on this front. And again, this is just not what the American public wants to see anymore in their leader for president. In 2020, they had given him 4 years, took a beat. decided this was no longer the direction that they wanted the country in. And this time we have a President Biden who's going to be out there talking about what he's done, what he wants to continue to do in another term.
Corinne, your response to that?
I think the campaign will be interesting, and Biden has a lot to talk about. I don't think he has a lot of accomplishments to speak about. And it will be interesting to see how it plays out.
As far as President Trump is concerned, I mean, he has said that he is going to run. There is a lot of other cases that he still has to face, legal challenges that he still has to face, including what happened in Georgia and the allegations against him there. Is there a moment when Republicans will say, you know, we really like him, but this is just too much?
That is exactly why this system is doing this to Trump. They are really hoping that Republican voters will say this is too much. That is why they are turning every stone over to try and stop the president from running for office again. And that is absolutely undemocratic. They want to be able to choose who runs and who doesn't run. And I think that is actually emboldening a lot of Trump supporters, and I think we are actually going to see him come out stronger because of it. It reminds people that this entire system has come out against him, and a lot of people are starting to wonder why.
Nicole, could it backfire? Could Republicans or voters generally feel that the system is against President Trump? He's not getting a fair hearing, and as a result, they'll say, you know what, we still want him to be president. We're going to vote for him next November.
But look, if people were trying to make it so that he, quote, couldn't run for president, there would be a plan to try and get him off of ballots. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the DOJ is presenting evidence. They're going to fair trials. We are going through the legal system that the U.S. has set up for these things. He was found guilty in this court of defamation by a jury of his peers. There will now be other cases that will go to judges and juries. That is the system. It's not a witch hunt. These are very well founded. What the DOJ has found, they have evidence. We've seen the documents. This is going to be presented in the way that we go through a system, and it shows that no one, whether you were a former president or you're a plumber in a small town in America, is above the law. That's just what the message is with this. No matter what and who you are and what kind of power you have held, you're not above the law, and you have your right for your day in court, and that's what's going to happen. I don't think the Republican Party base is going to leave him. No one is trying to make it so that he cannot appear on a particular ballot in a particular state. But the independents and the Democrats and a large coalition of people in this country are going to say, this is not what we want in a leadership. This is not what we want in a president again. And I think that every step of this way is reinforcing the votes that people took in 2020 to elect Joe Biden president.
Okay. Ladies, we must leave it there, but we very much appreciate you staying up, especially for us, to chat through this story today. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.